Happy Saturday, YouTube. ZiggyNo here with our weekend video. Let me say, man, I am high on the hobby this week. It has been an amazing week. I'll give you a quick snapshot. I'm going to focus this video specifically talking about retail. I'm going to tell you about my retail experience at Target. Walmart drops this week. My thoughts on the policy changes, what's going on, what I think you should be doing. I want to share with you this. Check this out. That is a Mellow Ball silver prism pulled from a cello pack in the parking lot of a Walmart. So I got a story about this as well. I want to share with you. So sit around, I grab something to drink, eat. Here's Select, which I was fortunate enough to get. Prism Cellos, I was fortunate enough to get, and I got one Prism Soccer. I'm not going to go into quantities and stuff. I don't want to flex or irritate people. I got more than others and less than many. I'll put it that way. So let me first start just kind of telling stories on, and I gave you a little bit of background if you watched the video the other day, but here was my last few days. So Thursday, went to bed right after work. Went to bed like around 5, 6 o'clock, did some emails, went to bed, woke up at midnight and went to Target. So I had some sleep, I'm telling you that. So knew when I was driving up there that people were already there, that I was looking like to drive in probably on 5th, which I was like, as I was driving, I'm thinking, do I really want to spend all night here to be 5th? I kind of said in earlier videos, that's kind of like the limit. You don't want to be under 5th. So I pull up and I'm 7th. So I get there and here was my first thoughts. You know me, I like tell it as is. When I got there, I realized that a lot of the people were people I never saw before. I mean, of the 5, 6 people in front of me, I think I knew 2 of them, right? So a piece of me was like, oh man, new people have crouched in on my Target. You know, the Target that I love is now taken over by somebody else. I don't know, I had that feeling. I say that because I think other people have that too. And I'm saying this because I think what we need to do is get outside those comfort zones, talk about things, and realize how much fun we're going to have. So long story short, I get to meet the people. One of the guys was a really nice guy, Leon. If you're watching, Leon, shout out to you, which is cool because he got out there. You could tell he was kind of like my personality. You know what I mean by that? And that he wanted to make sure he was happy. He wanted to go over the order because what I got there was several people had chairs set up and 2 guys had blankets wrapped around them. They're sitting there. And I even said, guys, you don't have to do this, do you? I mean, why do we all sit in our cars? And like, well, we want to do this. I said, the reason I don't want to do this is I don't want to escalate things and I don't want us to get kicked out. And I gave her reasons. And I will say that again. I know the policies change at Target, a lot of it because of the camping. Some people are partying, grilling, whatever it is. Again, maybe it's called the gray hair and some experience. My experience is just lay low, be thankful, keep your head down, do your job. So we've always in the past been staying in cars in previous weeks. So this was the first week though, kind of got outside that. So people had their chairs out. A few people were in their chair, the cars and stuff like that. And I was talking. Again, it's 1 o'clock and I'm wired because I just get a good rest and I had stuff to do. Anyway, my point is, a little bit later on, another guy comes up, and it's a guy that I've known before. And I'll even say I call this guy a friend, right? Because I have no problem with him. But he came up, and I knew he was coming that night, too. He gets there, and he has his blanket and everything. He sets up his little fort, and he starts talking about how he's old school. And old school, it's about who sits out and, who's basically in line. It's not about being in the car. You can't be in the car. And I looked at him, I'm like, first thing I'm thinking to myself is, oh, shit. Right? This is not what I want to have happen. I don't want us all lined up, camping out in blankets in front of Target. This is not good on many levels. And so he's talking about it. And the other guy's talking like, well, that's not what we're doing. We're in line. There's 3 people over there sleeping. There's only 3 people out. There are 3 people in cars, right? And this guy. And I even said to myself, I said, look, I said, Johnny, I'm sure, sorry to say his name. He's not, like I said, I like you, Johnny, man. So please understand, I'm telling the story. There's a point to this. I said, Johnny, man, I understand you. I feel what you're saying. He's talking old school. I said, but it's 2021. I said, things have changed. It's COVID. There's a lot of reasons why we should be in our cars and not out here, right? I said, the first thing is, if you want to go with that policy, you really need to go tell these people in their cars, that's the policy. And we all need to talk about this and agree upon it. And I don't think that's going to happen. So long story short, the other guy, Leon, comes out. Johnny's there, a couple of people, we all get talking around and Johnny's explaining his, his feelings that he wants us to be waiting. That's what makes it different, right? Wait. He made wait outside in the cold. And Leon's like, no, that's bullshit. And I don't think he said bullshit, but he could tell he's against it. And I just simply said, look, guys, all I can tell you is right now, if things stay the way they are, we're on a path to what I call conflict. Because you're going to go sleep in your car and you're going to sleep in the car. And I'll be honest, I'm going to sleep in my car probably. Or I'm going to at least go to my car and make a video tonight. And I'm not going to be in line all night holding my hand on the wall or whatever. So what will happen is in the morning, you're going to feel like you're cheated because you're going to want to get up. So you've been standing there all day. And these other people are going to think, nah, and that's going to cause conflict. And then we're going to get nothing. So we need to find a path away from conflict before tomorrow morning. Right. That's all I kind of said. And Johnny was, he left it alone and the other guys kind of left it alone. And long story short, as I said that already, what ended up happening is I talked to Leon and I said to him, I said, as I was sitting in my car, I meant what I said. We'll get up in the morning around 6:30. We'll get out there, shoes there. We can talk about it. Right. People have been here. Everybody respects people for what they're doing, the hustle. They're capping it. It's not like the first person on the door gets everything anyway. You're going to get capped. So what was also nice is Johnny spent time with the people outside. They like 3-4 guys stayed out all night in the chairs and blankets, and we became friends. That's where I want to get with this, guys. That's my first point of this first story. We became friends, man. Friends to the point that when we went in, so I was in front of Johnny. I was 7th. Johnny was 8th. Is that right? Was I 7th? He's 8th. None of us, I think from 5th down, got Prism. Okay, we were able to get Select, and there were other things. But one of the guys traded Johnny a Prism box up front and gave him a Select. So Johnny got what he wanted. And that's kind of what my point was. If we just talk about it, like we know we're getting limited, and Johnny, you want to be second because clearly there's a product you want that you're worried you're not going to get. Let's make sure you get that, and then we don't have the conflict, right? So if you're listening to that, I hope there's more people out there doing this conflict resolution, man. You know, I think one of my observations are there are bullies, and there are people willing to stand up to bullies. And I'm going to go to the next story in a moment on that. So I hope you're enjoying this. So summary too, I'll also say this. This week at Target was the first week that I was the only one there for all 4 weeks of the what I'd call the hardcore people got there early. Some other boys weren't able to make it out. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are. I hope to see you next week. We'll see how the policy changes. But there was a kid there who's been there every week, a young kid. I think his name's Gavin. And I know Gavin, like me, he's been chasing Prism. There's only been Prism 3 weeks. And last week I didn't get any. Gavin didn't get any. Gavin didn't get any the week before. So anyway, as we're lining in, we're going to the store, and Target's great. I say our Target's a really great Target. I like them, and I will go in again and tell them that, not just that day, but other days of the week. Hey, thank you. And that's another thing I'm going to ask you to do too. But I said, hey guys, there's a kid back here, Gavin. He really wants a box of Prism. Can anybody get Gavin a box of Prism? Please hold one for Gavin. And it happened. You know who did it, man? Leon did it. So shout out to you, Leon. Again, I'm having a high on the hobby this week because I just saw so many good things happen this week. Okay. Other thing I'll say too, I did ask the manager who was working that morning at Target if they are changing their policy, if they've heard anything. She said they're not planning to, that their store is doing as they want. So that's it. Another point I forgot to mention too, the police came that night only because there was a call. They said there were a lot of people in front of Target. They didn't know why. So they came and they started talking to us. I might have mentioned this as well. We had a good time chatting with the cops. All right. There's 3 cops. I'm going to go ahead. You know, I'm going to leave that out. What was funny was they even said themselves that they thought it was great that we were there because we weren't getting in trouble, right? I guess my point was I got a sense after that night that the police are fine with us being at Target. They kind of told us what to do and what not to do, right? Hey, don't get in trouble. Don't be stupid. Stay in your cars or be quiet here in your bags or whatever. Their Target management team seems cool with it. So I'm hoping our little ecosystem of Target love stays intact with all the changes. Probably won't. But what I do feel like is this whole change thing isn't going to last forever anyway. I've made some really good friends this whole thing, man. It just, I met John that night. I met Leon, Johnny, Anthony. God, I forget the lady's name. There's several people. There's another father-son that came that night too. Son was probably like 13, and they stayed in their car. They got there probably around maybe 2, 3. I don't remember, but they stayed, and they were Pokemon people. We all talked about that. It was just, and we made sure that they would get stuff right. Because well, we're sports cards guys. We'll make sure you get the Pokemon, and it just worked out. So after that, so again, it's now Friday morning. It's about 8 something, and I will say, you're going, Ziggy, what the hell are you doing, man? I did have to do some work, so I had to do some emails, which is great. I did some emails from the car to do some work, got some ready. I didn't have an on phone call till like midday, and then in the afternoon I had to work. So I'm heading back. Oh, I know it was. I was going to cross the road to my Walmart, and someone called me and said, look, the Walmart there's been wiped out. There's nothing there. And I was like, that's suspicious. How'd they get there that early, right? What I found out that night at Target was that all the Walmarts in our area had a hard requirement to get Magic on the shelves on Friday for a release. Magic, okay? That they couldn't put it on Thursdays, and that's why all the Thursdays and stuff like that typically get dropped, we're going to push to Friday. So yesterday turned out being like a perfect storm in the hobby retail chase. We knew every Walmart's going to get some. We were talking about that at Target. So everybody's like, which one are you going to camp out? I will say, I have a friend who saw the Target line. He went to the Walmart at 3:30 and started waiting there. He told me when I left Target, I think there's like 4 people there had been there all night, or there, not all night, but been at Walmart for a long period of time waiting. Okay. So I'll call them, they're invested. The rest of the crew was Target crew who rolled in, right? Who got there. So by the time I got there, I was 11th in line for this new line. Okay. Now I'll be honest, walking in there, first of all, I'm drunk on the happiness of getting something. And that's something, by the way, just happened to be, all I got was Select, by the way, that overnight stay. I did not get Prism. Isn't that freaking crazy? I got some hockey, I think, and something else. But it really, in retrospect, I made friends more than I did anything else. I didn't get any prison. So here I am. And that's what I said to these guys. So, well, if they come out with anything here, because the lady was in the building at Walmart, we knew they're getting stocked. There's a line of 11 people. There's more people, coming up. And I even started talking to guys. I talked to one guy at the front, and I said, "So what's the deal here? What are we doing? He says, round robin. We going 1 for 1. You guys each get 2. And what do you want to do?" And the first guy who'd been there, my buddy, had been there, since 3. So look, man, I'm taking 2 of this and 2 of that. He goes, and then I don't care. He goes, I'm not going to do round robin. I'm not taking everything, but I'm going to take a few because I had been here. I said, you know what? I understand. Right? That's cool. The guy behind me is like, I'm okay. We could do round robin or something like that. And he was being friendly to me. I'll say that. My point, let me fast forward. So when the line starts and they start going, there was a lady. I think she was in the first 4 or 5 position. She says to her friend behind her and her friend in front of her, take all you can. That's all I remember hearing. Take all you can. And I remember that because I thought about it then, I thought about it after the fact, and I'm thinking about it now. And it just, it's like nails on a chalkboard, dude. And I want to talk about this one too. So if you're still listening, let's examine this situation. You're invested, man. You've been hanging out since 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, whatever it is. You're there. You see the lady come in, and all of a sudden, a gang of 7 people come in, and they're drunk on their hall. They just got hooked up the road. I mean, I'll tell you, a few of the guys in the second hall were in the front of line at the Target, and they were walking out, 6 deep with 3 blasters Prism, 3 blasters Select. So they're drunk as hell, and I'm saying that in the sense of drunk on wax, not drunk on alcohol. We weren't drinking, by the way. Maybe misunderstand. There was no drinking going on. So I probably would have been a little protective too. I put myself in other people's spots. How would I feel? So that's why when Chris said to me, I'm taking this, and that's like, yeah, I understand, man. In fact, if I had said to Chris, can you grab this for me or that for me? I bet you he would have done it. Like I should have told him to grab me a Prism box or a Prism cello of either Prism basketball or the soccer, which is really what I wanted. I didn't do that. So when it came to me, luckily one of the guys in front of me had handed me back the last Select box. So for the second haul at Walmart, I just got a Select box, which again, for walking in and being there for like 15 minutes and just having to be there at the right time, bam, right? And that's why, again, I wasn't unhappy walking out. But I did think about it and the people behind me, and I saw their anger and their frustration, right? Like there was another father there who was mad because he didn't get something. I almost gave him mine. I think, again, like I said, I was very tired and I just wasn't thinking about it, but I walked out. What I did think about is later on, okay, so I go ahead and I do my work. I had to go to work, which was a great work day, but I had a really fun work day too. Things were like, when you get shit, it makes the rest of your day better, right? When you get stuff you came out for, it's like, damn, I'm excited today. So, but as I'm thinking, I started thinking about that lady and her grab as much as you can. And I thought to myself a couple of things. It's people like that who aren't thinking about other people. And we all do this, right? You got to put yourself in other people's position. And I understand she's mad at me and the crew I came in because we rolled from Target, right? But what about a guy who's number 15 back there who really was just trying to get a box for him or his friend or his father or his son or whatever? You know what I'm saying? The other guys who got absolutely nothing, right? What happened with them is, I'll tell you, they got mad. They probably complained to people. They probably told the management. They probably are cursing flippers, right? All because somebody couldn't simply go, you know what? It is what it is. I should share more. Now, again, many of you can say, no, I invested my time. I'm taking as much as I can too. In fact, here's a funny thing. One of the guys went over to the stalker after he stepped away, took his picture and said, is there a limit, sir? And the guy said, no, I'm not in charge, man. I don't enforce any limits. It's up to you guys in the store. Okay. So again, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, I heard that. Okay. Now, if I had been a little more awake, maybe, and really paid attention, what I should have done is I should have walked over to the manager who I saw there, the store manager, and said, man, we're going to have an issue here because I know the first few people in line are going to take as much as they can. And I know these people just came in and they've been waiting too. And I think we're going to have a conflict. I should have said something. And I guarantee you, had I done that, the manager would have stopped those people from getting stuff, or not stopped them, but limited them. And people in the back would have gotten stuff. Now, I guess part of it was selfishly. I thought about, I knew somebody in the front, and like I said, I related to his situation where he'd been waiting there too. And again, I'm telling you this, guys, I want you to think about these things. I want you to think about the stories and the people's positions and what they go through, because I don't think that lady's a mean person for saying, get all you can, but it wasn't nice, right? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So again, I keep asking myself, would I stop that? Should I have talked to the manager? What should I have done? Did I do the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? it'll make me wiser next time. I think next time I probably would talk to the manager and say, look, ma'am, I think we're going to need to do some of that queuing system or something else to prevent this from escalating too crazily. Okay, I didn't do that. So I left there. I will tell you, so I did hear one of the other Walmarts in my area. I went back to yesterday afternoon, actually yesterday evening after work, and just to see what's going on. There were people waiting there, had been waiting there all day long at this Walmart. And the reason was every Walmart in our area, and I'm talking, I don't know, 100-mile radius. I've got a nice network going here, man. Talked to a lot of people, had been hit with the restocks. And the restocks were strong. In fact, one of my friends who's down in a town called Luray, the rumor is, I haven't confirmed this with him, but he was waiting there all day. Everybody gave up at like, I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Person comes out, stocks it. He took it all. He got every damn thing. We're talking like probably 24 blasters, 36 cellos. Just, he's drunk. Like, I haven't heard from him, but I will find out if that's a true story or not. But, you know, that's just him being in the right place. And that's another thing I'll say is that Walmart's model is kind of a feast or famine because they don't have any control. The drops are random, even the point where the person who stocks can come in, she can stock at 1 or she can stock at 5. Doesn't make a difference. She has no requirements, right? It's kind of Wild West. So that was that. So anyway, came home last night, again, reflected back on both those potential confrontations, what could have happened, thought about the friends I made, you know, and I'll tell you too, I didn't get a lot of stuff. I didn't get a lot of product, right? I think I spent $100 on retail, which is great. So you're probably thinking, why you do it? I can tell you more than anything, man. The reason I'm doing this has less and less to do with the cards. So it does just, I really think I enjoy the people and the interactions. I love people. You can ask people if they probably were there, they'll tell you Ziggy's a talkative one, right? A few nights ago or a few weeks ago, I called the mayor, right? Because I do like to come out and say hi to people. Maybe it's the gray hair, right? People take me seriously. So I want to get on to the next one because this doesn't end. The story does not end. I haven't even gotten to LaMelo Ball yet, right? Don't forget, we got LaMelo Ball story to talk about. So this morning, woke up. There was change of plans on the weekend schedule because of weather and stuff. So I'm not going to see the boys today. That's why all the stuff's still sealed, by the way, because my son's ripped. I will, but I never rip with them. So I decided to go by that Walmart. I'm like, well, let me go check it out, right? And get there at opening this morning. Part of that is, by the way, too, you're like, well, why'd you get up? So I went to bed last night at 9. I was exhausted, dude. Just fell asleep. And I woke up this morning at 4. Walked the dogs, looked at my stuff, went back to bed, woke up at 6. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go check out Walmart. I guess it kind of sat in my head and I was thinking about all this. So I get to Walmart this morning, see the same people. And I will say last night when I left, I met 2 other guys, a guy named Brian and a guy named Valentine. Again, nice people. And also guys that I've met before. Aiden was there, Chase was there, another great guys. Chase is a young man, and I don't want to rat him out. He's just been a good guy because he shares information with me. I know you're like, some people get frowned upon for that. They're probably like, Chase, don't talk to Ziggy. He talks too much. So I don't want to get Chase. I'm probably ratting on one of my informants, but I just can't appreciate it. I met Chase's dad, by the way, too, in this story, which is even better, dude. I think it's awesome because here this young kid is, you know, slinging wax and hustling, and here I get to meet his dad who's doing the same thing in a different way, but I just loved it. So, okay, Walmart, we're there, we're waiting, we're talking, is it going to happen? Valentine's back from yesterday, Chase, Aiden, Brian, John, which is Chase's father, myself. There ended up being, Dan's there, another guy I met. Ends up being Dan. We were talking crypto. It was awesome. So woman's in the house. She's going to come. She's there. We're waiting. And what's his name? Chase starts talking. So what are we going to do? We do a round robin. How do we want to do this? And I, basically say, hey, I think we should, let's, as a group, we can make that decision now. And he's saying, if we don't do that, she's going to probably cap us or so that. So, and I know what's going on. We were kind of concerned that if there are new people in the group, what they were thinking. And I think this is another good thing to talk about. You should talk. You should communicate. Like, I watch Money Malone Mindset. And he talks about when he pulls up, they all have kind of like the mayor who tells you what your place is, how many people in front of you, what the situation is. Quick note I want to mention. Big difference in Money Malone, Triple M. When he goes to his, apparently you go in one at a time to get the stuff, right? That's actually a worse system. I'll tell you why. In Mar's system, you all go in together. In fact, in our system, the top people go in and the top 3 people go up to the register. They have 3 people at the register to cash you out. And you tell them how many you want. So you're actually competing with those other 3 people. Like, just because you're first doesn't mean you're going to get first. You're just first to order, right? Because the other second and or third are ordering too. But that peer ordering system where everybody has to order and we're sitting behind you and they can feel you breathing on their, not really feel you, we got COVID standing, but is kind of a peer pressure, which prevents people, in my opinion, from being greedy. Follow me? Follow me? So, for example, remember I mentioned that Gavin, I said, hey, Gavin, man, he needs a box. I'm number 7. Like, hey, somebody get Gavin a box. Well, one of these guys, peer pressure, and pressure of, ethics, wherever it is, they do it. If your system is where you go in by yourself, man, it's like you're doing a drug deal. I'll take 3 of that, 3 of that. Is that valuable? I don't fucking know. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? You get kind of greedy, which makes me think of another thing. When they talk about this new policy where Target's going to go to, I think it's either one sport or one Pokemon or one of each. You get one Pokemon and one sport or whatever it is. Actually, isn't going to make things better, in my opinion. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to make things better. Okay, people are going to find more ways to work the system. For example, I'm going to get into Pokemon. Not that I like Pokemon, but I can trade them for sports cards now, right? Because they have a value. So now I'll be one of the assholes getting Pokemon who knows nothing about it. Had a thought, just left my mind. Okay, so let's come back. So this morning, Chase is talking about how we should do it. And what ends up happening, we agree to it. Yeah, we're going to round robin it, right? Meanwhile, the lady, so we're all sitting there around, I don't know, the bra and panty section, talking, telling sports card stories. And the lady in the back who knows some of these younger kids, right? Younger men, comes up and she says, Chase, she's, come here. And we all look over and she goes, look, I want you guys to know there's no sports cards today. And dude, my heart, for a second, it was like the Matrix. Groot, what are you doing, baby? For a second, it was like the Matrix. And then she smiles. I'm just kidding, guys. Follow me. Oh my God, dude. I was ready to, I said, ma'am, can I hug you? And she just laughed. She says, no, you can't. So long story short, I'll just say, I say it a lot. We start talking. She opens the boxes and we're round robin. And hey, what do you guys want? Like some people didn't want the hockey, so I could take it. Some people didn't want baseball, so someone else take it. So it was community. And I was talking, I said, man, can we, I know we can't tip you. I don't want to bribe you, but can we collectively buy you a gift? No, you can't do that. So can I call your manager and say, hey, I appreciate your being this open and letting us, and maybe I'm getting in trouble. She put it on the shelf first and then took the picture. And then we went through it, by the way. Okay. Let me clarify that. It was on the shelf. And then we used the box to sort it. But anyway, it was warm and fuzzy moment. We're all sitting there talking, everybody's sharing. We all got some stuff. I will say this guy, Valentine, had been there, and Brian had been there all day yesterday. I was voting for them. Like there was some extras. I'm like, yeah, you got to give it to the extra guys. They were here all day. Give it to them. So Valentine got, I think, got an extra box. He might have got extra cello. I ended up getting, like I said, I got a little bit of everything. I got a select. I got cello today. I got 3 of these today. I have 3 sons. That's where they're going. I got 1 of those, right? That's going for dad. Anyway, it was great. As I'm skipping through Walmart, and I swear to you people, I was skipping through Walmart this morning with a smile on my face, dude. It just felt good. I don't even know why. It just felt good. We go outside and I'm sitting in my car, sending pictures to my sons about what I got. And my son's like, yeah, dad. Oh, I'm so happy. He was so stoked. And he's like, oh, you only got this. I said, son, I got you. I got you, boys. There's a pack for each of you. I got, because he only saw 2 selects. I got 2 select blasters. I shouldn't have told you that. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to. I said, I got another one for you at home. I said, I got you, son, right? So we're chatting back and forth. The guys in front of me are all around a car and they start, I can see they're packing, ripping packs. And I'm like, do I smell Prism? So I get out of my car and I go over to talk to these guys. And first of all, I'm a geek, right? So they're sitting there going through the cards and ripping packs. And I have Groot, Sandy, sit. Just let him go. I go and get out from my car. I have a pack of top loaders and I have a pack of penny sleeves. I have everything in my car. So I bring them out and say, man, you got a penny sleeve that. You got a penny sleeve this. And we're pulling Prism rookies, right? Base rookies, right? Nothing special. And I want to mention Brian, one of the guys who've been there all day. He's really a Pokemon guy. He's not a sports card guy. You know where this story's going, man. When it's not the sports card guy ripping the packs, he pulls all the fucking fire. So he's sitting there. No one's really paying attention to him. And people are sleeving cards and I'm watching him. And he pulls the LaMelo ball in the sunlight. And as I look at it, it doesn't look like the base, dude. It's a shiny silver. Brian pulled this morning from a, $10 cello pack in the parking lot of the Target. Now, I will say right there, as soon as I looked at it, it's off-centered. See the off-centering? They're all off-centered. It's a terrible class. And F you, Panini. Let me just quickly say, sorry. When all this whole thing about why people are chasing, you know what the problem is? It's not the flippers, it's not the retailers, it's not the distributors, the backdoor people, the Walmart thieves, none of that. It's manufacturers who are charging us way too much money for hobby, and that inflated hobby prices, which is driving up the price of retail. If I could buy a hobby box for $400, I wouldn't be paying $100 for a blaster, or I'm sorry, $150 for a blaster box. Okay, I'll stop my little rant. But again, you want to be angry? Focus your anger at the manufacturers who we are unfortunately addicted to buy from. So we need to focus it at maybe the leagues to stop the exclusivity and to break it up. Okay, side note. So I'm watching the guy open this and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I start dancing in the parking lot. Woohoo! This guy just pulled the best card you can pull. Not the best, but I point out that You know, there are better cards, but right now, this is the chase card. LaMelo Ball, silver, in a retail pack. Bam! Everybody else is just smiling. They're laughing. Like, I can't believe Brian pulls it. And everybody's throwing numbers. What's it worth? I said, I don't know. My guess is I think I saw them go raw for like 500. We did look it up, and the last one raw for like 7. You've seen graded prices. Again, this is not a 10. That Center will not let this be a 10. And I'll even say, I don't like the back, some of the coloring. And this is pack pulled. I watched him pull it. It never hit the ground and went straight to the fucking sleeve and right to me, or right to him to me. So I talked to him, and I'll tell you guys on the channel, I offered him 400. So I'll give you 400 cash right now, right? And I'm gonna tell this story because, again, I think this is an important story, and there's a good lesson here. Brian is a good guy. Well, at least I know him. He's like a sports card guy. I don't know anything else about him, but I know he doesn't know sports cards, right? And he didn't know me. So he doesn't know if I'm, you know, being a jerk or if I'm being fair or what, right? So that's why we looked up value, and guys, well, one went for 700. And I did point out the center. Another guy points out centering. And one of the guys there, and I appreciate Dan, shout out to you, said, yeah, 400 is a solid offer for that. That's a really good fair offer. You don't have to pay fees. You get cash right now because it is off center. He closed the deal for me. Because what it did, and again, I even look at Brian's perspective. If I'm Brian and someone offers me cash, I'm thinking to myself, well, is it worth more? Should I wait? You know, like, there's hesitation. Am I being taken advantage of? By Dan saying that, validate, it's kind of like grading. It's a third party trusted opinion. That's all grading is, guys. That's all it is. Think about this. This whole business is about relationships. If anybody's gotten this deep in my video, that's really, whoa, we could go so much deeper. Then Brian said, okay, I'll do it. And I got 400 cash and I bought the silver. Now, did I pay too much? Maybe. Maybe. I don't do that often. In fact, this is one of the biggest purchases I've made. I don't make big card purchases. But what I liked about it, I love the story, dude. And I mean that, like, first of all, they're like, are you going to sell it? Are you going to fast grade it? No, I'm definitely not fast grading. This is going to go, it will go to PSA. They'll be back probably in, 12 to 18 months. I'm leaning on the 18-month side. It'll probably come back a 9 and I'll enjoy it because the story. I was out chasing retail, met these guys. We did the whole sharing, he's carrying. We were ripping packs in the parking lot. Dude pulls the mellow. I pay him cash. That's just a great story, man. That will love it. Absolutely love it, dude. So in summary, I've been talking too much. Sorry, guys. This is not my typical thing. Maybe it's a Saturday high on the hobby day. That whole experience was awesome for me. It really, really was. And I hope you guys listen this far, and I hope you take away, like I said, what I'm learning is the relationships are important. People are important. Talk to the people in the lines. They're friends. Okay. Talk to the managers this week, guys. Give me your feedback, whether you like it or not. Tell me, like, because I worry the Target policy. It's better than nothing. I think it's better than Walmart. I hope Walmart moves that policy. Regardless, I'm going to be chasing, and I have got a better network of friends who are helping me chase. Right. And again, I'm not chasing the flip, and I'm not chasing the profit. I chase for the love of the game, man. I'll do it for the love of the game. Have a great day, guys. Thank you again. Peace.